So look. So he runs in there, he picks them up, and then look at this. So you can see right there. So in wrestling, the goal is that you have to land flat on your back as possible, and that's what they teach you in wrestling school, how to take bumps, if you will. And the goal is you're supposed to land flat on your back, when pretty much at all times. It kind of it spreads the shock of your back around. Believe it or not, there's a science to pro wrestling. But the way that Raja lifted him up, he didn't do it to where he could land on his back. He did it to where he landed on his side, and so he lands his head. And then after he's knocked out, now he could tell already Syko Stu's not fighting back. He's not blocking himself. The guy is clearly knocked out, but that doesn't stop Raja. It doesn't stop him for some reason. Now, what the hell's up with this guy? Like, I know it's wrestling. He probably expected just kind of like, okay, let him know, like, get off. But this is not a trained wrestler we're talking about here. So I don't know why he didn't for real pull him off. So finally, some other wrestlers step in. Is this guy's gimmick? He's one of this baseball guy right here. Is he supposed to be like from the Warriors? So that's what happened inside the ring, and there are other points of view as well. So if there is something, there's another camera angle that I found where one of the other wrestlers in the match pinned Syko Stu, and it's like, what the hell are you doing, dude? I think the match is over. I think it's safe to say show over. Let's see, where is it at? I think this is it. Yeah. Is this it? Yeah. Seriously, they still pinned Syko Stu after Raja assaulted him? Woo! The one. Woo! Like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like, on one hand, I get it. It's kind of chaotic. You don't really know what to do in that situation. You don't know what the full extent of the injuries are. But I mean, come on. So the referee, technically, like, if this was all legitimate, right? The referee should have called in a disqualification because Raja wasn't part of the match. So even in kayfabe, the ref should have, called a disqualification. The match should have been called off already because of the outside interference. So why it was still technically on, why this other wrestler still covered him, this is just unprofessionalism and mud show wrestling all around. So what started this? Why did Raja feel the need to go in there? Well, apparently he was told this was a pre-planned thing. I mean, after all, it's pro wrestling, makes sense. It was a pre-planned thing that he goes in there and they have a little spot. So, but what led to it though? What was the backstage incident that kind of led up to this point? So Raja and Syko Stu had a confrontation backstage, and Syko Stu smashes like a can on the side of his head for some reason. I don't know why. Apparently, the explanations was that he didn't know that Raja wasn't like a worker, which is another term for a wrestler. He didn't know that he wasn't a worker because he saw Raja with the cameraman going around. Again, unprofessionalism all around with this wrestling company, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So he sees Raja and he goes, okay, well, I'm going to smash this can. And I guess, he's putting it on for the cameras, I guess, which I don't know, doesn't, again, make sense to me. Even if the cameras are there, you don't just You don't just walk up to someone and do that. So I need more context with this because I can't find any footage of what led up to this right here. All right, so that was the incident. He smashed the can on his head, and I guess apparently from there they talked it out, which I bookmarked as well. Let me find that clip of them hashing things out. Excuse me. Like I said, I don't think you could organize bookmarks here, so I kind of just have to scroll through my bookmarks to find it. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Did I even? I guess I didn't even bookmark them, but apparently there's footage of them backstage talking it out, coming to an they kind of talked it out and they squashed it. There was no more beef. They squashed the beef, right? So everything's good to go, right? There was a misunderstanding. They talked it out. Everything was settled, right? Well, then there's this backstage incident where it shows another wrestler telling Raja to get a receipt, to get his receipt. Now, in wrestling, getting a receipt just kind of means getting like payback. So for instance, did I not bookmark? I bookmarked all these clips and the ones that I really want. Oh, here it is. Here's them talking it out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's gonna all work out. Yeah, I appreciate it. I didn't know. I get it. We're working out. Well, he's gonna come out on your matches. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working. I get it. I get it now. Now you know what I'm saying?
So in wrestling, working means putting on like a performance, pretty much. When they say we're always working, it means they're keeping up the facade that they're in character. That's what they mean by working.
We're always working.
And I think this guy right here is one of the people that own KnokX Pro. His name is Black Pearl. I'm familiar with Black Pearl. I don't know Black Pearl, but I'm familiar with him. Him and Rikishi own KnokX Pro. Now, if you don't know who Rikishi is, in the late 90s, he was this big Samoan guy that wore this. He had a big ass, and he wore this like little thong, and he would do the stink face on people. And then he would also dance with Too Cool. He's also the Rock's cousin. He's a part of the Rock's Samoan side of the family, the Samoan dynasty, if you will. If you watch wrestling nowadays, he's the Usos' father. That's Rikishi. He's one of the owners of this promotion, which is why it's so shocking that such unprofessionalism was allowed to happen at the show. But I'll get to that in a little bit. But this was them working it out. I'm trying to find the clip of the other wrestler telling Raja to get his receipt. Here it is.
You run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. You remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt, bro. Tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll fucking run out there. Tag his shit, bro. You run in on his shit.
So, in my opinion, I think this guy is largely responsible for what happened in the ring. Okay, what's he doing telling a non-worker or non-wrestler to go in there and get his receipt? You're telling an untrained guy, some guy who's not in the business, to go into the ring and get his receipt. So again, receipt's a payback. So for instance, if you're out there with a guy and let's say he he hits you with the chair super hard and knocks you out for a second, all right, and you learn that he doesn't apologize for it or anything later on backstage, you might want to get a receipt later on, which means maybe the next time you work with them, you hit him with the chair super hard. It's pretty much like a kind of a form of payback. In other words, he's getting his receipt. So why are you telling a non-wrestler to go into the ring and get his receipt? Again, he's not a trained wrestler. He doesn't know this stuff. He doesn't know how the business works. He doesn't know what goes on. and you're telling him to go get his receipt. Again, highly unprofessional. Highly unprofessional. So I brought up earlier that Rikishi owns KnokX Pro. KnokX Pro is out here in California, by the way. He owns KnokX Pro. How are the people running this? Because I don't know if Rikishi's there, or I don't know if Black Pearl is the one that runs the day-to-day stuff. But how are they allowing these? These are veterans of the business, by the way. They should know better. Like Rikishi and Black Pearl, they've been in the business for a bit. So to allow this amount of outlaw mud show, this unprofessionalism to happen in the wrestling show, like what the hell was this? Unprofessional all around. And I know this because if you didn't know, I actually used to run my own promotion, around a little over 10 years or so ago. Well, my last show was in 2016, so a little less. But I used to run my own pro wrestling promotion. Okay, I used to be in the business, so I know how a lot of this shit works. And as the promoter, you would know better than to allow someone who doesn't know what they're doing inside of your ring. And if you're going to allow someone who doesn't know what they're doing inside of the ring, it's going to have to be taken care of as carefully as possible. All right. You're going to have to really, like, they should have rehearsed this beforehand. I don't think they did. Syko Stu and him should have worked on the spot in the ring before the show started. They should have gotten in the ring, went in there, walked through what they're going to do. It should have been planned out to a T so that nothing happens like this. Okay. Now, back in the day, if you would have told Roddy Piper, hey, this guy who doesn't know what he's doing is going to go in there, lift you up, and slam you to the ground, Roddy Piper would have put the kibosh on that shit real quick. He would have said, no, the fuck he's not. No, the fuck he's not. And at best, they would have worked out a different kind of spot. Like, well, how about instead of lifting me up, you just give me a punch to the face or something, you know? That's what they would have done. No professional, old school professional would have allowed someone who has not seen a single day in wrestling training lift them up like that. So I ask again, who allowed all this to happen? Who allowed this untrained guy to go into the ring and do this? I'm going to get to Raja Jackson in a bit, but I'm seeing no one talk about the promotion itself. Everyone's putting the focus on Raja. And yes, absolutely, Raja got out of hand. He definitely has some issues. Like I said, I'll get to that in a bit. But no one's talking about the promotion. No one's talking about KnokX Pro and the unprofessionalism that happened there. Why did they allow all this to happen? Completely unprofessional. They're putting their wrestlers in danger. They put Syko Stu in danger. Syko Stu put himself in danger by not saying, hey, listen, I'm not going to allow you to lift me up in the air like that and slam me because you're not trained. And again, even if they were to allow that, they should have had some walkthroughs before the show began. They should have had them practice it before the show began. But some might argue, yeah, but Raja had cameras on him at all times. He was live streaming this. So which brings me to another question. Who allowed this non-wrestler to go backstage with the live stream cameras on? Like, I know everyone knows wrestling is scripted nowadays. Like, I know everyone knows that. However, that still shouldn't allow you to bring cameras unauthorized. Like, did Raja ask the promoters first? Did he get permission? And if he didn't, why didn't any of the promoters go and say, hey, man, you can't have these cameras here, or, work something out with them? Who brought Raja to the show? How did he get backstage? Did one of the wrestlers let him backstage? Is he a friend with one of the wrestlers? And one of the wrestlers had him go in there? Was this a planned thing with the promoter? There's so many questions that no one's asking because, well, no one's an expert like me when it comes to wrestling, and no one thinks about this stuff. Again, listen, not to appeal to authority here, but like I said, I actually used to be in the wrestling business. And so these are the first questions that I had when I saw this, was basically, who allowed all this to happen? And who allowed him to go in there with cameras on at all times and show the backstage portions of the wrestling show. Who allowed that? Okay. So these are what everyone needs to be asking. And KnokX Pro needs to definitely answer for this because, again, this is unprofessional all around. And in my opinion, they're just as responsible for what happened to Syko Stu than as Raja Jackson is responsible. Because if they would have just actually had much more of a professional setting, a much more tighter show, then this wouldn't have happened. But they didn't, and this is what happens. So TNT Cycle says, I believe Raja was hired to put it on his Kick channel for promotion. Okay. So if he was hired to do that, then it's still on the promoters. It's still on them to let the backstage area know, like, hey, we're going to have this guy back here, and he's going to be filming everything. Okay. Also, he should have talked to Raja, and there should have just been better planning all around. Talked to Raja, told him what he could and couldn't do, what he wanted from Raja. And if they were going to have him do an in-ring spot, practiced it very carefully. Very, very carefully. And this guy right here, this wrestler right here that told him to get his receipt, he needs to be reprimanded. Because what is he doing telling an untrained wrestler, or an untrained guy, I should say, who's not a wrestler, to go and get his receipt? I think this guy is majorly responsible, because that was completely irresponsible to tell an untrained guy to do that. So, what about Raja Jackson himself? What do I think about what he did? Well, listen, I've talked a lot about this channel about how there seems to be some kind of issues within the Black community. Again, not all Black people, obviously, I'm not saying that. But, there's a lot of videos I've seen where there are Black men who, when they get in fights, the person that they're trying to fight, they're knocked out, but then they keep punching them for some reason. And it's like, dude, they're knocked out. Like, now you're just going for attempted murder now. Like, what are you doing? What is it with this anger within the Black community? And it seems to be no different here, even though he's the son of pretty sure Rampage Jackson's a millionaire, it's safe to assume, right? Even though he's a privileged Black guy, even he is not immune to this anger. So I'm going to try to find the aftermath. So this was after the incident. I'm going to fast forward a bit because of that freaking noise.
Tired of motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them was a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for my fucking self because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
Come on, man. We leaving, man. We're walking away, bro. Let's not take it serious. Let's go. Come on, Roger. Let's go. Let's go, Roger. Let's go. Roger, let's go. Roger, I'm telling you, let's go. You listen to me. Listen to me, Roger. You need to listen to me right now, Roger. Let's go.
I don't give a fuck. You guys trying to jump me and shit?
Let's go.
You ain't gonna do shit to me, bro.
Trying to jump me.
Shit to me. You can't fuck with me, bro.
Let's go.
You can't fuck with me. Come on, let's go.
So that's wild that he says you guys are trying to jump me. No, dude, they were trying to get you off of Syko Stu, who was clearly knocked out already because you kept punching the again. You were going for attempted murder, dude. You were going for attempted murder, and they were pulling you off of him. But in his mind, for some reason, he goes, "You guys were trying to jump me." Like, what's with this mentality?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, you talk with all your niggas and shit. You ain't talking about yourself though.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We go. I got you, man. Let's go.
Shut the fuck up.
I know. Get in the car. That's why I'm here, man. Get in. No, passenger, bro. Get in the passenger. Let's just go.
Fucking bitches, bro.
No, I know. Let's just go.
One of them fucking bit me, bro.
No, I was trying to get in.
One of them bit me. I'm just sorry. That just sounds funny. One of them bit me.
Fuck them niggas, bro.
I know.
Fucking tired of everybody playing with me and shit.
It was all an act. It was just a play. Don't worry. It was wrestling. Calm down. You don't want to get banned. It's just wrestling.
Well, oh yeah, good thing someone told him that now. After the incident's over, hey man, it's just wrestling. He didn't know that before? Has he never experienced a wrestling show at all? I know he's more around the MMA realm because of his dad and stuff, and I think he's trained to be MMA. But dude, he hasn't been clued in on pro wrestling yet?
It's all an act. We're just an act. We're just fucking wrestling. That's all. Calm down. Take a deep breath for a little bit. Calm down. Get out of the car. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let's get out. Get out of the car. Just relax a little bit.
Bro, this shit isn't fucking staged, bro.
You have your mic on you, right?
Yeah, I got my fucking mic.
This shit isn't staged, bro.
You should have
What?
hit me with a fucking beer can. I'm tired of everybody thinking I'm soft and weak and shit. Straight up.
Dude, but they settled it. You guys settled it already, all right? Like, what the hell? Like he explained to you it was a misunderstanding. He thought you were one of the wrestlers. All right. He saw the cameras. He thought he could play something up for a show. Again, has no one do they not understand this? And again, like within the black community, I've also shared clips of here during like basketball games where they get like roughed up a little bit. Nothing personal. It's just it's basketball. Sometimes there's like some contact there, nothing personal. And then the black person gets all fucking riled up and wants to fight. And it's like, why is everything such a like confrontation with them? Why does everything have to lead to a fucking fight? And you want to talk about white fragility? Dude, I think black fragility is more of a thing. Everything leads to a confrontation.
Tired of everybody fucking playing with me and stuff.
Every little slight.
Hello?
Hey, where the hell you at? I told you to double leg that motherfucker and start welding him. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My bad.
Didn't have to do all that shit.
My bad. He just told you they can't wake him up. He's flatlined in the ring, and all he says is "my bad." Ooh, whoops, sorry, my bad.
I understand y'all had heat. You didn't have to fucking take it there.
All right, I'll call you back later.
And the second too, he tells him, "Hey man, I know you guys had heat, but you didn't have to take it there." I don't know who that guy was, by the way, but he goes, "Oh, you didn't have to take it there." He goes, "Well, let me call you back." Again, no personal responsibility at all. My bad.
Before we kept slipping. Never know what the fuck happens in LA.
All right, I appreciate it.
Did he just get a Morse code? So that was after the incident. And yeah, people are absolutely right. Like, no impulse control, anger. What's he getting at? Again, like he said, well, it's not staged, bro. Like, why do, again, this group within the black community, because I want to make it clear, okay, not all black people, but why is there this within the black community? Why is this group here that gets angry over everything, such deep anger issues, where it's like everything is such like a personal attack on them, like anything. Doesn't matter if it's a pro wrestling ring, a basketball court, it doesn't matter. It's like if you do just something to slight them in any way, any slight disrespect, whether done on purpose or on accident, now has to be some kind of fight now. Like, what is up with that? And I say this because there's videos like this I've seen circulating around. This is a completely different incident, by the way, but I see these videos all the time. See, look at this. Look at this. So this black gentleman here, there's a white person on the ground. Look, clearly the white person's done. All right. He's done. He's knocked out. No need to keep beating up on him. You did it. It's like, oh, okay. So you want to, now you just want to go for, murder charges now? Congratulations. You got the assault charges, but now you just want to go for murder now. Okay. You just want to go all in, eh? But it's like not just like with those two videos. It's I've seen it countless times where the person's knocked out and they just keep punching on them. Why? Why are they so angry? Woke people will say, well, it's because of the black oppression and the white supremacy and the slavery. But no, it's been done with. Like, there's equal rights, civil rights, everything. It's all done away with. And yet there are black people that are still this angry. It's not a white people problem. It's something within the black community. It's something with how they're raised. And if we don't start calling it out, it's going to be a never-ending cycle. It's just going to keep going. And then we're still going to keep blaming it on white people, which means the black community is never going to get the help they need. So, Rampage, this is him giving a statement after the incident.
This is what happened, Chad. He went to a pro wrestling event with his coach. Those pro wrestlers, they be just as crazy as MMA guys, right? The pro wrestling guy don't know my son, and he hit him over the head with like a can or a beer can or a bottle or something. And my son didn't know it didn't know it was coming. Didn't know. They didn't tell my son. And he hit my son over the head. I guess he thought my son was a pro wrestler or something. And Roger didn't react, but Roger didn't fight though. He didn't do anything because I told Roger not to get punched, but still nigga hit my son over the head. And then he asked my son, you ain't gonna sell it when you in pro wrestling? So this motherfucker that hit my son is stupid.
He might be stupid, but regardless, Rampage, your son and him talked it out. They hashed it out. They shook hands. The beef was squashed. Why was your son still so angry about it?
So in order for me not to go to fucking jail, I got to talk to his coach. This is what happened, Chad.
Yeah, so listen, I get it. He wants to stand up for his son and all, but, look, I get it. But, yeah, not exactly a good statement to put out there. Not exactly a good statement. Putting, again, no responsibility on him or his son at all. Okay, there's more footage. There's a footage that I... Okay, I think this is Rampage, I think, as it happened.
You saw it? Let me see it.
You broke his face?
Hey, is he gonna get banned for it? It's really bad.
That's what Chad was saying. They said it was bad.
You saw it?
Shit. Whoops. All right, so let's see. I think this is the footage I wanted to show where it's before the incident. I think his chat is telling him to knock him out or something, or hey, if you give me this, I'll knock him out.
I'm gonna really have to show him, like, you can't just hit a fucking can on my goddamn face. I'm really going to hit him. I'm telling you. I'm dead serious. This shit's not gonna be scripted. I'm telling you. I know all wrestling is script. I'm talking about what I'm gonna do to the guy. I'm gonna really have to show him, like.
What an idiot, dude. What an idiot. Okay, I actually didn't hear all that, so... All right. Well, he's announcing on camera that he knows wrestling scripted, but he's really gonna knock him out. Okay. Well, earlier I said he might not face charges. Well, I think that might change things. That might change things if it shows intent. Because, see, my whole thing was this. People have died in a wrestling ring before, not just like the Owen Hart incident where it was a stunt gone wrong, where he was supposed to go into the ring and then he fell to his death. There are people who have died because they've taken a move wrong and they died. So, and their opponents or whatever, they didn't face any charges because it's a wrestling ring, right? The fact of the matter is, this happened in a wrestling ring. The promoters gave him permission to go do this, and that might hurt the chances of this guy going to jail because it happened in a pro wrestling ring. Say what you want, but the move that he gave Syko Stu is a wrestling move that has been done in the wrestling ring before. It has been done in the wrestling before. He didn't pull out a gun. He didn't pull out a knife. And by the way, there has been an incident where a wrestler's pulled out a knife in the ring and he didn't go to jail. He did get charged, but he didn't go to jail. And it's because and I'm talking about New Jack. The judge factored in the fact of the theatrics of pro wrestling. And so, yeah, he got charged, but he didn't go to jail for it. And he pulled out an actual knife. What Raj did here was he did a move that wrestlers have done many times before in the ring. Obviously much safer, but it's been done before. And even the punches are allowed in the wrestling ring. All right. So a judge could look at this. They're going to look at they're going to look at the promotion, and they're going to go, well, listen, you guys told him he could go and do this. This is a pro wrestling ring. He didn't do anything that hasn't been done in a wrestling ring before. And it doesn't really matter if the guy got knocked out or whatnot. Like, this is wrestling, and the nature of pro wrestling is you could get hurt. That's it. That's what everyone signs up for. There is a risk that you could get seriously injured by doing pro wrestling. So the judge is going to factor all that in, assuming he gets arrested, by the way. However, though, this video right here, that could be damning, though. Because now it's showing that, yes, even though this was all planned, even though the promoters gave him permission to go do this, even though that jackass told him to get his receipt, well, maybe that might be another thing. Even of all this, there's footage of him saying, yeah, I don't care if it's scripted, I'm going to knock him out. Meaning that's going to show intent that he was planning on doing something worse. But the judge could also say, yeah, but this was on camera. They could just defend it saying, yeah, but listen, this was on camera. I'm trying to play up the moment to my fans. I was trying to hype up the moment to my fans to get them to watch this. See, I know it sounds stupid, but that's the whole thing about this happening in wrestling is because of the scripted nature in wrestling. Not even just because of the scripted nature, but just because it's a contact, sport in general, there's full contact. You're assuming risks when you go in there. So that's the big thing of why he might not see jail time. Because, and also too, they could also look at the other guy, the guy that told him to get his receipt, and they might put it on him too, saying, yeah, but look, that guy told him to do that. That guy told him to get his receipt. There's so many factors in here of why he might not see jail time. And I know it sounds silly to people who don't watch wrestling or whatever like that. Like, why? Just because but yeah, like because it's in a wrestling ring and because of the scripted nature and because you're assuming risks when you become a wrestler, there's a good chance he might not see jail time. I'm just being honest here. You can like it or hate it, but that's reality. He acted with forethought and malice. Yeah, he did. And again, this right here might be a key piece of evidence. However, they could also use the defense of he was just trying to play it up for his fans on the stream. He could just be like, yeah, in wrestling, you hype stuff up, so it's iffy is all I'm saying. And like I said, I brought up an example. There was New Jack who actually took out a knife and stabbed someone in the ring. And he didn't see jail time. So if New Jack, who stabbed someone in the ring, didn't see jail time, there's a good chance that Raja might definitely not see jail time. You don't brutally beat someone for funsies. I completely agree. Like I'm saying, I'm not saying that I agree if he doesn't see jail time. I'm just telling you the reality of it. That because it was in a wrestling ring, there's a good chance he might not see jail time. Yeah. Oh, the dude totally should be charged. Yeah, I mean, he should. But again, if you're not familiar with the New Jack incident, New Jack has done worse things in the ring than this guy did. Again, he's actually brought out knives. He's actually cut people in the ring. Didn't see jail time because of it. So, and he should have been charged. But the judges in that case factored in the pro wrestling nature of it. So you guys could disagree with it. You guys could hate it. But I'm just telling you the reality of it, that he might not see jail time. And it's because it happened in wrestling. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything else. So I was actually shocked because I guess the LAPD is investigating it. I was actually shocked about that. So I'm just telling you guys straight up right now, because everyone I see, oh, he should serve jail time. He's definitely going to get jail time now. I'm just telling you guys, he might not. And it's because it happened in wrestling. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. So here's a video. This is of Rampage and his son. This is before the incident. I don't know how long before, but I guess this is them telling a story about how he fought his own son, and this wasn't in an octagon.
We already got in a fight once.
Oh, really?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
He sucker punched me.
Oh, I saw the slap.
How'd that go for
was
you?
that?
And what'd you do? Did you slam him on his head?
Oh, yeah, that motherfucker went to the hospital that day.
Yeah.
I don't play that shit.
We fighting 3-on-1 though. Two big bitches came out the room too. Like, leave our man alone. You're like, oh god damn.
No, you know what? I felt bad about kicking his ass that day, and to this day, he's the only person I ever guillotined.
Oh my god!
I never get guillotined on nobody. I didn't want to keep punching him, so I guillotined him, and he wouldn't tap out. And
you put him to sleep?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because when he sucker punched me, he almost rocked me, and it was right by I got like this 100-year-old door that turned to like a table.
Yeah, it's
like 200 pounds. If I would have hit my head, I would have died.
Oh, but hold on, what was the fight over?
He's not gonna want me to tell what that fight was over.
It was embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Something stupid.
I ain't want him to talk about it.
Why?
Because
You happen? It happened.
I know.
We already got in the fight once.
So his son sucker punched him, and it was over a stupid reason. They even admit, yeah, it's a stupid reason. I'm too embarrassed to talk about it. He didn't learn, I guess. He didn't learn. Imagine he could have killed his own father over some stupid reason that he's too embarrassed to talk about. Yeah, a grape might be different, Matt. It might be different. It might be. It depends on the context. But like, again, I know a lot of people are finding this hard to believe, like, oh, because it happened in a wrestling ring. But I'm just telling you, judges look at this and they don't take wrestling seriously. And so, and again, also because you're assuming the risks and stuff, they factor that stuff. And again, you might not think it's dumb, but that's just how it is. Yeah, shit parenting. I know, right? Imagine, like, he could have like killed his own father over a stupid reason. Even he admits, yeah, I was stupid. I'm embarrassed to talk about it. Yeah, I would say take it up with judges. And crime is a crime. Yeah. I mean, like I said, take it up with the judges. It's the judges that factor this stuff in. Here, let me pull it up. Here. Let me grok it real quick. Let's see. Grok. Tell me about when New Jack. Let's talk about the mass transit incident, okay? Tell me about the mass transit incident in ECW. So, to summarize, because I don't want to read all this shit, I just basically want to read what happened. This underage kid, so ECW, they needed some wrestlers for a match. Like, so this kid was like backstage and he said, yeah, I forgot how he got backstage here. You know what? Let me actually read that part. Let's see. Kulas is mass transit. Kulas contacted ECW through a connection and was booked to wrestle New Jack, real name Jerome Young, a hardcore specialist infamous for his violent street fight style. New Jack was supposed to job or lose to the newcomer in a tag team match, but tensions escalated due to miscommunications. So basically, this kid was underage. I think he was like 16. All right, but he lied and said he was 18, and his parents lied for him. Okay, so they're partly to blame as well as parents and mass transit. Well, mostly the parents because he's underage, but the parents helped lie on his behalf so he could do his dream and wrestle this match. Well, I guess mass transit. Let me see here. Okay, during the match, Kulas requested New Jack to blade him, which is to like cut him in the forehead to give the bleeding effect. So wrestling is slang for cutting oneself with hidden razor blade to draw blade, a common ECW tactic for dramatic effect. Well, it's a comic wrestling tactic in general, not just ECW. Kulas claimed he knew how to do it safely, but he botched the cut, slicing too deeply into his own jugular vein. Okay, that's wrong. He didn't cut himself. He told New Jack to do it for him. He said, hey, I've never done it before. Can you do it for me? So New Jack was like, yeah, of course. The thing is, New Jack did it all across his forehead, and he cut so deep it exposed some of his skull. And so he was bleeding out in the middle of the ring, and it became a whole big incident. Okay. Now you might say, well, that could be attempted murder right there, right? Especially if New Jack intended to, because yeah, New Jack knows how to cut someone. He's a wrestler. He knows how to cut someone where they don't bleed out like that. He did this on purpose for whatever reason. So you might say, well, that's attempted murder. But no, he didn't see a day of jail time. And again, it's because of the promotion itself. The promotion allowed this kid to go wrestle. The parents allowed their own kids to go wrestle, even though he wasn't a trained wrestler, had no business being in there. Koulas is treated at local hospital for life-threatening injuries, including the severe jugular and head trauma. He survived but faced a long recovery. His father, George Koulas, filed a lawsuit against ECW, New Jack, and Paul Heyman in 1997. Paul Heyman was the promoter of ECW, alleging negligence, assault, and a failure to provide a safe working environment. The suit sought damages for medical bills and emotional distress. So there was a lawsuit, but no jail time on New Jack, and it's because of all these other factors. It's going to be this. It might be the same thing here. All these other factors, who allowed this untrained guy to go in there? At most, we're going to see a lawsuit. But jail time, it's a toss-up. And there's another incident with New Jack. New Jack, the wrestler, stabbed someone in the ring. Tell me about that. The match started as a standard hardcore bout, but quickly escalated into a legitimate assault, with New Jack going off script in a way that crossed into criminal territory. Here's a step-by-step account based on eyewitness reports, Lane's testimony, and video footage, which has circulated online but is disturbing. The bell rang, and the two wrestlers brawled outside the ring using chairs, tables, and other weapons. New Jack dominated early, as was the plan, incorporating his signature moves like diving off balconies. The escalation. As the fight moved to a concession area near the ring, New Jack allegedly used a real knife, holding a pocket knife he carried, according to reports. He stabbed Lane multiple times in a frenzy. 2 stabs to the left side of Lane's head, 1 stab to the right side of the head, additional slashes and cuts to the face and body. Lane was bleeding profusely and screamed for the referee to stop match. The crowd, thinking it was part of the show, initially cheered the violence common in hardcore crowds. However, it became clear this was real when Lane collapsed and required medical attention. New Jack later claimed in interviews that he lost control due to Lane allegedly disrespecting him for botching spots, but he admitted to using the knife. Lane in his last interview said the stabbings were unscripted and that New Jack had threatened him beforehand. The entire event was captured on shaky fan cam footage showing the blood and chaos. Legal professional fallout. Criminal charges. New Jack was arrested at the scene by New York police on charges of second-degree assault, criminal possession of a weapon, and reckless endangerment. He spent time in jail awaiting trial. In 2001, he pleaded guilty to reduced charge of aggravated assault in exchange for probation and community service. No prison time was served, but he was ordered to pay restitution to Lane. Yeah, so he didn't serve prison time. He got aggravated assault in exchange for probation and community service. And he stabbed someone. He stabbed someone. And yeah, if New Jack was a crazy wrestler. I think he got blackballed after this. He rarely saw any appearances in wrestling because of incidents like this, because there was a few incidences where he took things too far and actually tried to kill someone in the middle of the ring. Again, no prison time for New Jack on this stuff. So like I said, you could think it's dumb, you could hate it, I'm just telling you the reality of it. Let's see, is there anything else on the whole Raja Jackson? All right, so this is an update on Syko Stu. Apparently, the pro wrestler that Raja attacked is awake now, but does have multiple broken bones in his face and teeth missing, while also almost choking on his own blood at one point. Unbelievable. It's been reported that the LAPD is investigating Raja. He should be arrested, period. Douglas Mallow, a wrestler who was involved in the ensuing melee to stop Jackson's alleged attack, told USA Today in an interview that Smith was awake and talking on August 24th, but had broken bones in his face and lost a lot of teeth. Mallow added that Smith could be released from the hospital on August 24th. He was choking on his own blood and teeth, Mallow said. Somebody reminded me there's kids there, and then I was like, oh my God. So at least he's awake. At least, he's awake and he's alive for now. Hopefully there's no permanent damages, other than the teeth. He's going to need new teeth, definitely. But hopefully no long-term brain damage. So this is Rampage Jackson. Sneeko predicted Raja Jackson's crash out onto the pro wrestler 1 day before it happened.
I'm not happy with that. I became a pushover. So it's like a happy medium.
I can't see you being a pushover.
Bro, I'm a pushover. I'm a push because
You think he's a pushover?
no, I am. Bro, I am because it's like somebody do something to me, I'm thinking like, do I try to kill this nigga or do I just let him go? You know what I'm saying? But I don't say. Sometimes I won't say nothing. I won't say anything because I know if I say something like somebody offend me or wrong me or risk me off or do something, and I say, hey bro, that ain't right. You did this, bro, and then they kind of like snap back on me. I don't know what I do. I just next thing you know, I'm choking this motherfucker. I'm beating him up. So I'm like, now I'm a pusher. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, whatever. For me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it me going to prison.
I don't think it's being a pushover. I think it's just not wanting to go to prison.
But imagine that's your only two options here. You know, your only two options go be like, just let, oh yeah, whatever, or kill them. Like, what is this?
I think it's just weighing your options. I think if you think that's being a pushover, that's why a lot of people go to jail for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People go to jail. They don't care. I think a lot of people, they don't care. They just don't care. Like, fuck it. They'll do something stupid and now they have no freedom.
Yeah. So I don't think of it like being a pushover, just making the smart decision.
Yeah. But I feel like it's a push. I feel like I've been a pushover. I let so much shit slide. But you know what? It adds up on me. It weighs down. Weighs down. Yeah, bro. I think I'm gonna need to start going therapy or something. I've been thinking about this shit.
Yeah.
You think?
There's a therapist that you could talk to on stream that I think is good. I just talked to him today. Dr. K.
Dr. K?
Yeah, he's an Indian therapist. He's good.
Wait. Hold on. Does he have the Indian accent?
No, it's not. He doesn't have the call center voice.
Okay, good. Because
nice and American. Yeah, no, you wouldn't be able to talk to him.
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, no disrespect. No disrespect. You know I love everybody.
That's disrespect to recommend that.
Yeah. I'm like, I couldn't pay attention. Like,
that's funny. Okay, that's pretty funny. He doesn't have the Indian accent, does he? All right, so I don't know where they said he predicted it. Did I miss that?
I'm not happy with that. I became a pushover.
Because it just seems like they're just talking about Rampage Jackson becoming a pushover. But man, imagine that mentality is just, all right, it's either I let it go or I kill the guy. Like, what? There's no in between there. There's no trying to talk it out and hash it out. You know, I get it when you're trying to talk to someone and they're being belligerent or they're still pissed off or whatever, but you could still try to talk your way down. And if they take it to the next level and take a swing at you, then you could go and, defend yourself. But that explains a lot. If that's the mindset, though, either I just let it go or kill the guy, beat the shit out of the guy, that explains a lot. Yeah, that's definitely a false dichotomy. Yeah, so you only admit you're a loose cannon that can't handle reality. Exactly. Yeah, Rampage should be embarrassed he raised someone that insane. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, if I were a Rampage, I would definitely be embarrassed right now. All right, so I think this is the Rampage. Like, I think this was right after it happened.
Man, I will go there and I fuck up all the motherfucking pro wrestlers over my motherfucking son. All of them. My son ain't no motherfucking pro wrestler. He don't know how to sell that shit. He don't know how to do none of that shit. We MMA fighters, nigga. We get dirty for real. We don't sell shit. We don't give you nothing. We don't give you a goddamn thing. You got to get what you earn in my motherfucking sport. We don't play that motherfucking shit. We do motherfucking real alphas. We ain't pretending around this motherfucker. And you motherfucker come fuck with my son, y'all got to go through me first. Come meet me at the motherfucking gym. Don't fuck with my motherfucking bloodline.
So yeah, I get it, him being defensive of his son, but at the same time, though, you also don't go into like the wrestling business and be disrespectful like that either, you know. Why'd you skip my shit talking about Sneeko? I don't know, because I don't really care or know much about Sneeko. So I don't know. I didn't feel like it was relevant. Where was your comment at? Here, I'll talk about it then. Where is it at? Let's see. Oh, I don't know why anyone takes Sneeko seriously after the dumb shit he's done. Okay. I don't know much about Sneeko. I've heard his name several times. But I don't know much about him, and I don't really care about Sneeko. I just didn't feel like it was relevant to this. All right, let's see if there's anything else here that I bookmarked. Let's see here. All right, so this is Myron Gaines' take on it.
To jail. I like Rampage Jackson. You guys know be honest with y'all, bro. I don't see how he doesn't go to jail. I like Rampage Jackson. You guys know I think Rampage is awesome. But after looking at that footage, bro, like they need to get a lawyer. Like me just being dead ass. Like he needs to get a good lawyer right now and be prepared. They're 100% going to come in and arrest him for that. I don't know what they're going to charge him with, but slamming him with the way that he did and punching him that many times, he needs to find a lawyer. I don't even know why they're still on camera talking about it, to be honest with y'all. He should stay off camera. They shouldn't talk about this shit ever again and secure a lawyer and just sit tight. Because the police are absolutely coming. There's no way they're not going to make an arrest after that, bro. There's no way. There's probably an insane amount of pressure on the local cops to do something. And that obviously wasn't in the scripted, wrestling event. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just don't see a scenario where he doesn't get arrested, bro. I just don't see it. Because the police department is going to be under an insane amount of pressure to do something because it's so viral now. It's so viral. They have to do something. I hope the guy's all right. I hope he's not like seriously injured. That's because that could really create some issues too. If he's like seriously injured. So we'll see what happens. You guys.
So I bookmarked that, and I think I was planning on playing that before I talked about the legal stuff. But a lot of people, again, because I've seen this everywhere. Myron Gaines, quartering, everyone's saying, oh, he's going to need a lawyer up. He's going to be seeing prison time, which is why I went into depth in explaining to you, he might not see jail time. And don't be surprised if he doesn't, because this happened in pro wrestling. Now, I will admit, Myron Gaines does bring up a good point. All that backstage footage of him saying, yeah, I'm going to knock him out for real. And then afterward, when he was like, I'm tired of people playing with me, that might be damning. Because that stuff wasn't in those previous incidents of the New Jack stuff. There's no backstage footage of New Jack's openly saying, I'm going to freaking stab this dude for real. Like, there's none of that in there. So that could be the difference here, is that there's a lot of backstage footage of him saying that he's intending on knocking him out for real. Okay, that might be the difference maker, and if he sees jail time or not. But if that footage didn't exist, if that footage did not exist whatsoever, I would 99% guarantee you he would not see jail time. But I think the difference maker is going to be that footage of him admitting that he is going to knock out the guy for real. Yeah, exactly. And not to mention he admitted beforehand that he was going to do what he did. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the only difference here. In those other incidents that I brought up where people have died in the ring, or New Jack straight up trying to kill a guy in the middle of the ring, there was no backstage footage of him admitting that, yeah, I'm going to do this for real. So that might be the difference here. That the on-camera stuff that he did, that might be what fucks him. If he sees jail time, it's going to be because of that footage. I think that's about it when it comes to this incident. That's my thoughts. So to summarize, ladies and gentlemen, KnokX Pro was completely unprofessional, allowing this guy, a non-trained wrestler, backstage, filming everything, but also allowing him to go into the ring and do that without running rehearsals on it first, without carefully planning it out. That was completely unprofessional. It was unprofessional of that wrestler to tell him to get his receipt because that probably riled him up. What are you doing telling an untrained wrestler to go in there and get his receipt? You just don't do that. You just don't do that. That's that you're putting your fellow wrestler in danger by doing that. That was an awfully shitty thing to do. And as for Raja Jackson himself, obviously what he did was wrong. Again, obviously within the black community, there seems to be a lot of anger problems, a lot of anger management issues where they can't just let things roll over. Like they can't just let things roll off their back. It's like everything has to become a confrontation. Even when they do fight a person and the guy is clearly knocked out, they keep punching him, and it's like, why do you do that? Why is that anger there? That the person's already knocked out. Why are you furthering punching him when he's already knocked out? And that's something that we need to talk about here without being feared to be called racist, because that's the only way we're going to help that community here. Well, not only the community, but the people affected by that community is by calling that shit out. You know, if we're allowed to say, hey, we should teach white people not to be racist, teach men not to grape, well, we could teach black people not to be so freaking violent. And then lastly, there is a chance he might not see jail time. And I just want to be prepared for everybody about that, because if it turns out he doesn't see jail time, I already see the headlines. Oh, it's because, he's black. It's because it happened in California. And I'm just telling you that, no, it's because it happened in pro wrestling. And you might think that's ridiculous, but that's just the way it is. Like Bruce Hornsby say, da-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun. That's just the way it is. However, with that said, though, the fact that he recorded himself on camera saying, I'm going to knock him out for real, that might be what fucks him over. So there is a chance he could see jail time, and it's because of that footage. Because there is the pre-match footage of him saying he's going to knock him out, and then the aftermath footage where he's saying, I'm tired of people playing with me, disrespecting me. I'm tired of it. That's what's going to fuck him over. If he sees jail time, it's going to be because of that footage.